Hello again, I'm Anusha and this is the second lesson on forces from physics. In today's lesson, we are going to have a general idea from some of the basic, well-known types of forces. We can categorize forces as contact and non-contact forces. Contact forces are those that act when there's a contact, such as frictional force, tension, air resistance, etc. The non-contact forces are the ones which act without being in direct contact to a body. For example, we have gravitational force, magnetic force, weight, etc. We are first going to discuss about some of the non-contact force and then we'll move on to the contact forces. Gravitational force, also known as gravity, is by which two bodies are attracted by their masses. The most well-known example of this force is the Earth's gravitational pull. This is the force that attracts all the bodies towards the Earth's surface. This is the very reason why whenever we are climbing up the stairs, we get very tired, but it is really easy for us to climb down the stairs, as all things on the Earth's surface are being pulled down to its center. Gravity is also the primary force that keeps all the planets in their orbits with the sun in the center. Magnetic force is the attractive or the repulsive interaction between the magnets and the magnetic objects. A magnet has two poles, the South Pole and the North Pole. Similar poles show attraction, whereas opposite poles show repulsion. Magnetic objects such as metals are always attracted towards magnets. Substances such as water, rubber, plastic are non-magnetic and they are not attracted by magnets. We often ask about what's the weight of a certain body and get the answer, for example, as 20 kg or 30 kg and so on, but that's not at all what weight is. What we talk about here as kg is actually mass. Weight of a body is a force by which a body is attracted to a planet or the moon or any other celestial body, whereas a mass is a property of a body that defines how much matter the body is made up of. Weight is a force and so is calculated in newtons and can change depending upon the location, but mass always remains unchanged. And the SI unit is kilograms. And now that we've discussed the difference between weight and mass, we are going to move on about discussing some of the contact forces. Tension is a force that works when two or more forces act on a body. A very commonly known example of this force is the tug war, where a long rope is pulled towards the opposite sides by two teams of people. The tension is created at the center. When too much tension builds up at the center, if a weak or improper rope such as nylon is used, it causes the rope to tear up. We have already discussed about frictional force in this first lesson, but to give you all a recap, friction always works opposite to the direction of motion. When there is too much friction, it gets really tiring to move heavy bodies, but without any friction working at all, the floor can get really slippery to walk on, and this can also cause accidents. Similar to friction, air resistance also works opposite to the direction of motion, but in this case, we are talking about air surface instead of the ground surface. Two examples are shown here. A person landing on ground using parachute, the direction of motion is downwards, but air resistance is working upwards. The downward motion is called thrust, as during landing we are thrusting against the opposite force to go towards the direction of motion. At the same time, since the direction of motion is downwards towards the Earth's surface, we can say that the gravitational force is also working. Let's take another example. If we consider a flying airplane, the direction of motion is the thrust, and the direction opposite to that is what we call air resistance, and the force that pulls the body towards the Earth's surface is gravity. Thank you for watching. We have reached the end of today's lesson. Hope to see you in the upcoming videos. Bye!